¿Me escucháis o no me escucháis, exiliados? ¿Cómo estáis, supervivientes? Aquí estoy yo con el casco y todo, ya preparado para lo que viene hoy, ¿eh? ¿Cómo estamos por ahí? Vamos a quitar la música, vamos a poner el directo de esta gente, que ya lo tienen ahí a 5 minutos de empezar. Vamos a ponerle también sonido. Y a ver qué nos depara hoy esto. A ver qué nos depara hoy los amigos de Funcom. Sí se te escucha. Perfecto, Edward, ¿qué tal? Humberto, ¿cómo que os tengo abandonados, tío? Es que tengo muchísimas cosas que hacer y no puedo estar con vosotros en el server 100%, tío. Y me gustaría muchísimo, pero no puedo. Vamos a ver. ¿Cómo estamos ustedes? ¿Cómo están ustedes? Señores. Ay, ay, ay. ¿Qué nos traerá? ¿Qué nos traerá? ¿Estoy hype o no hay hype de la nueva edad? ¿Se la ha dicho Amazon? ¿Se la ha dicho Amazon? ¿Sí o no? ¿Vosotros qué decís? Yo creo que sí que se ha dicho Amazon. En ese rollete. A ver, porque si fuera Age of Gods, que estaban también hablando por ahí, lo he escuchado en algún sitio, sería de dioses. También no estaría nada mal. Pero bueno, a ver qué nos trae, a ver qué nos trae. Ahí estamos atentos al stream de los señores de Funcom. Si sabéis lo que me ha pasado, que pensaba que era mañana, día 22, y no hoy. Estamos así, ¿eh? Así funcionan las cabezas. Pensé que era mañana, día 22. Bueno, 3 minutitos. Y vemos qué nos dicen. No lo voy a poder poner más grande, ¿de acuerdo? Porque ya sabéis, por temas de que nos pueden violear la cuenta y esas cosas. Entonces lo vamos a poner así pequeñito, ¿eh? Que se vea, eso sí. Y vamos a ir comentándolo con vosotros. A ver qué es lo que nos dicen. Chiquis. A ver qué nos dicen. A ver qué nos dicen. Y la verdad que tengo bastante hype, ¿eh? Tengo ganitas de ver qué es lo que... De ver qué es lo que nos traen, tío. Realmente. 2 minutos y medio. Ya no falta nada. Edward, Humberto, ¿quién está por ahí más? ¿Quién más está por ahí? ¿Quién más está por ahí? Edward, Humberto. Hola, muy buenas. Todo día. Todo día y cara, muy buenas. ¿Qué tal estás? Brasil. Oh, muito obrigado, Brasil. Eu falo um pouquinho português, mas prefiro falar español. Venga, ya no falta nadita. A ver qué nos dicen esta gente de Funko. Vamos a estar atentos. Y sobre todo, lo que estaría muy bien es que arreglaran. Y que arreglaran los bugs que hay. Porque hay muchos fallos. Hay que reconocer que hay muchos fallos. Empolgado. Hay que reconocer que hay muchos fallos. Sobre todo lo que es a la hora de PvP. No sé, hay cosas que no se pueden permitir. Muy buenas, Moisés. ¿Cómo estás, señor? Los bugs tienen que arreglarlos. A ver si nos dicen algo de los bugs. Todo puede ser. Todo puede ser, ¿eh? Pero bueno, yo te digo yo que no. Yo te digo yo que los bugs que han estado toda la vida acompañándonos con nosotros en Conan Exiles, toda la vida del juego, evidentemente, no nuestra vida, van a estar ahí. Nos van a acompañar y vamos a tener que luchar contra ellos de alguna manera, siendo ingeniosos nosotros. No nos queda otra, ¿eh? O luchamos nosotros contra los bugs, o esta gente de Funcom no creo que vaya a hacer nada. Ya veréis, como no dicen, nada de los errores. Y se lo van a decir en el chat. ¿Pero qué? ¿Qué hacemos contra eso? Oye, 10 segundos. A ver qué nos cuenta esta gente. A ver qué nos cuentan. Me gusta esta pantalla de inicio. Sí, estamos listos. Estamos aquí todos listos. ¿A que sí? Estamos deseando que empiecen y que nos cuenten algo. Se oye, ¿verdad? La música del audio del escritorio, o sea, se escucha bien. Bueno, esta gente ahora no tiene puesto nada. Ahora sí. Ahí empiezan, señores.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to a very special Conan Exiles developer live stream. My name is Andy Bandit with the community team. Oops. Let me just make sure that this is off. And I'm joined here with Nicole, who's
me está presentando. Ha dicho quién es, no me acuerdo el nombre. Lo por ahí, Andy Bandit. Y este es Dennis Doutet. A ver.
And big shout outs to our support team and other community folks in Twitch chat today. Say hey to them. They'll be here just like hanging out, talking with you. Making sure no rabble rousing happens in chat. So if you're tuning in for the first time,
Hola, Luquita.
Be talking a lot today. So we are going to be focusing on talking about a whole bunch of different things, taking a look back at the age of sorcery, what's coming next, and so on. And so we're going to be focusing on that a lot. So we'll be taking questions from chat as much as we can, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. But we're going to be going through our segments first, and then opening up bits for Q&A a little bit later. And Nicole will be taking your questions in chat as well. And we'll do what we can for that. Let's see. Any other housekeeping things? Let's see. Nope. Yeah, we have Nicole here. We have our amazing support team in all our studios, just saying hello and hoping to answer your questions as well. We might have some developers in chat as well, helping answer questions in case we don't see them.
Vamos a poner para que veas chat.
That's about it as far as introductions go. This is going to be very exciting. So yeah, basically this is going to be more or less like almost like a podcast format, actually. Like I know a lot of people like to listen to these things in the background while they work or something like that. But there'll be plenty of visual.
Kael, muy buenas, tío.
Might want to check later. But don't worry.
Aquí estamos con el hype a ver qué nos trae nuevo, tío.
The stream put up on our Twitch channel and later on our YouTube channel as well. Anything?
Non sei todavía. Non sei.
No, just we got a lot to go through, a lot to show.
God, yeah. Sorry, one sec.
Gotta get moving. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, and you might see me occasionally. It's very warm in here, so I have to, and I'm a little nervous, so I have to pat myself down.
Están nerviosillos, eh.
So before we jump into
Están nerviosillos. Llevan mal la cámara, eh.
First we wanted to take a
y esto que el tío de la derecha es el community, supuestamente. Pero no lo lleva bien, eh.
So, when we initially launched the Age of Sorcery and the time moving up to it, we had intended to add a lot of things, and a lot of things like being the bazaar, the battle pass, a
ver, Battle Pass. Pase de batalla, señores.
System, world events,
And sorcery,
and that's a lot of stuff.
Age of Fury, Age of Baser.
A lot of stuff all at once. So,
vale, esto es lo que han hecho hasta ahora. Vale, lo que han... Mirando hacia atrás, una vista atrás, al capítulo en el que estamos todavía. Buenas, Edgar. Hidromiel, di que sí, yo estoy contigo. Están haciendo una especie de review, ¿de acuerdo? De lo que han hecho en el capítulo 3 de Age of Sorcery. Bueno, más bien en todos los capítulos anteriores de Age of Sorcery, los 3. No, los dos.
Chat, what do you think we clenched? In any case,
Y
Clenching of the Amazon. So, going into the actual
si tienen
launch
que estar
of Age of
recordando lo que han
Sorcery
hecho
back
desde
last
2017, vamos mal, Esto va
we're
para largo.
actually super stoked to
O sea,
say
no
that
jodáis.
the launch went incredibly well. We hit the, at least on Steam, the third highest like concurrent user
¡Ey!
base
¿Qué
or
tal, Diego?
population.
Un saludo a Jorman.
Only exceeded by the original 2018 official launch and the 2017 early access launch. So that's freaking awesome. And in fact, so we had like a free week promo with Steam during the Age of Sorcery launch. And the following weekend, after the free week ended, our population was even higher.
Están pidiendo a la gente en el chat que wipeen los servers oficiales. Hasta la polla de algunos.
And we had like we like vastly exceeded the original like plan that we had with their provider, and like daily active users and posts like more than like quadrupled or almost quintupled in some cases. Like there were a lot of y'all showing up for this, which is really cool. And then, you know, now that things kind of like even out a bit, you know, checking in on the health of the game, you know, on average, there are more of you playing, and each and every one of you are playing longer sessions, like substantially longer sessions each time you're logging in and playing. Which is, part of my language, fucking awesome. So, so thank you all so much for your support. And yeah, thanks for sticking with us, and yeah, thanks for making the Age of Sorcery launch just amazing. So we really appreciate it.
¿Te conformas con eso, Kael? Yo me conformo con que arreglen el bug de entrar en las bases en PvP.
And of course to, you know, Dennis and all the
Yo
developers.
con ese me
All
conformo.
of us here kind of working our asses off to bring you some cool stuff in the
Porque estoy de
land of
verdad,
Hyboria.
hasta
Still
las
some blood in
narices.
the name of entertainment, I guess.
Que se te cuelen en bases así como así.
It's not a stream unless I curse at least once. I used to curse
Que
a lot
no.
more on old streams, but try to
Te he entendido,
clean up my
Kyle, te he
act these
entendido.
days. So yeah, that's a little like look back at Age of Sorcery. Are there any like remarks or anything like you'd like to add as Mr. Developer Man's leading the charge on this?
Yeah. Also, just so
Voy a
you guys
preguntar.
know, a lot of stuff we do is just going to be on the spot today. So
Yeah, we have a good plan, but like
yeah, we haven't really planned exactly what we'll say, but sorcery.
we sort of did, but yeah.
Sorcery, making sorcery and everything was. It took us a really long time to get through all the stuff we had to put out and get the store out and everything. I mean, I think we were in development for somewhere between 1.5 and 2 years or something like that. And
wow.
when you work for a long time like that without showing things to people, you maybe sometimes feel like, hey, are we doing the right thing? Are we going to hit the mark?
Exacto,
here,
Diego.
or are we just totally
El de
messing
entrar en
up
las
and we're gonna
bases.
find out we
Es que
wasted a
contra
lot
eso,
of
¿qué
time?
haces?
But, you know, the reception has been amazing. The actual release
O
of
lo
Sorcery
arreglan.
was probably one of the most emotional
Pero no sé si es
moments in
problema
my
de
entire
Funcom,
career.
si es problema de
Because just seeing
Unreal,
everyone
de
freak out in
que
chat, seeing the trailer
es
reveal
así y
and
va mal.
everything was-
No sé de qué
it was
narices es,
amazing.
pero
Well,
es
and
que
there
es
was also the
horrible.
kinda,
No
people-
puedes
some folks
tener
got
una
to see a
base
little bit earlier
PvP.
than intended.
Te van a entrar.
It was a small number of
Yeah,
people
yeah,
compared
yeah,
to
yeah.
everyone that actually got to see it. And
¿Qué
it was
hacemos?
just, it was a blast.
Yeah.
We were all super tired. I remember doing the sorcery stream immediately, like, you know, after that weekend, and we came in and I was just like, I was bushed, bud.
Bruh,
You know?
we were all like, bruh.
It was hard. It was hard to get through, but it was so exciting. It was like almost like a second wind.
A mí se me ocurren varias formas,
Even though your eyes are drooping
de
and
cómo
you're
evitarlo en mi
falling
base,
over the
pero
keyboard, it was still a lot
un
of
jugador
fun.
que no, es que
Yeah,
una putada,
it
llegar a
has
una
been
base y
such a-
encontrarte que te han raideado sin
It's so
entrarte,
awesome
tan
to see the
siquiera
community
casi.
get so much
Es-
bigger,
es-
and we have so many players now, and so many new players too. Like the number of new players are
La peña lo que hace, entra.
insanely high.
Oh wow, nice.
Si no se puede llevar nada, no se preocupa, te vacía todo.
You know, I've
Deja
been
todo
careful not
vaciito,
to
te lo
talk
tira
about
por allí.
numbers with it, so I just won't,
Y una vez que
but
te lo ha
I'm really
tirado,
happy to see a lot of new people coming in and staying,
desaparece,
to see what's coming up next with
el tío se
Extremas.
mata, recupera el cadáver
You know,
con...
our 3-month
con el círculo.
release cadence is, you know, I think being really helpful in terms of keeping people in and
Con lo que
playing
quiere
games.
llevarse.
Yeah,
¿Te le interesa?
it's a ton of work. Like, you know, live service is not an easy task at all, but it's also a really exciting, like, it's really exciting to have that kind of cadence, because then we can now move forward with like a more set plan for like the kind of content that we want to release, and also gives us an opportunity to also finally add like a continuing. Like,
Evitan
advancing
totalmente
plot.
las preguntas de bugs, tío. Es que a veces da ganas de...
Yes.
Or multiple plots.
Efectivamente. Actualizar todo esto a un Real Engine 5
Multiple
sería
plots,
la...
huh? What,
Edgar, sería la leche.
maybe we
Tío.
should talk
Sería la
about
leche,
what the
tío.
next
Sería la leche, tío.
parts are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe. I figure that's what most people are here for. So, friends and foes and siblings of battle, we would like to welcome you soon.
Me tenía que colocar esto del chat y
Okay,
me he
don't mess
olvidado,
this
tío.
up.
Perdona. A ver si es este. ¿Nos han dejado colgados? ¿Qué les ha pasado a esta gente? Vale, es que lo tengo aquí duplicadísimo. Age of War. Age of War, señores. Era de la guerra. La edad de la guerra se va a llamar. La edad de la guerra, señores.
Wowie zowie.
Señores, tenemos nombrecito, ¿eh?
Indeed.
Tenemos el nombrecito.
Let's see,
Age of
you know,
War.
bloodshed and the clashing of steel and wits.
Vamos a poner esto bien.
is
Y tengo que
just
cambiar
like
el color del
as
fondo.
entwined
Ya me he dado cuenta
within,
ahora.
Like the Hyborian, like Conan DNA as like punching camels, right? Like it
More
is
so, I would say.
more so, yeah. Like it is.
Hostia
essential
puta,
to
tíos.
the
Age of
Conan,
War.
like,
Nos han
experience.
troleado a todos. No es
We're-
Age of
we're gonna
Amazon.
be embracing that wholeheartedly, in
¡Qué
the
hijos
coming
de
months.
puta!
So, very
Y
exciting.
todo viene por una
Age
imagen
of War. So,
que aparece uno de ellos en el setup
what's going on? What's the thing?
Why
y
would
aparecen
you?
tres monitores
So,
y en uno del
if
medio
there's a
aparece
question
Age of
about what the
Amazon
next age will be,
y es
one
lo
of
que
the
todos
best things you
pensábamos
can
que
do
esta gente
is
de
look
aquí
to the community.
iba a decir.
See what people are requesting
Pero no,
the
tío.
most and
Age
what people
of
want
War.
to see in the game, what kind of complaints people have, things like that. Because we always want to try to make the game better. for
Hostia,
everyone.
Matías, muchas gracias, tío.
So,
Que para esto estamos
Age
aquí,
of
para
War
entreteneros.
was an idea for an opportunity to focus on updates to the combat system. And one of the biggest
Época de
things is
Cronca,
the Purge.
se vienen hostias como panes, ¿eh?
So, we'll talk about more
Se vienen
about the
hostias
actual
como panes,
cadence of
¿eh,
release
señores?
and what we'll be getting into.
Se vienen hostias
But
como
the
panes.
biggest things we'll focus
Al
on in
loro,
Age of
¿eh?
War is actual combat with your
Al
character
lorito, ¿eh?
against AI and the
Al
Purge
lorito.
content
Hostias como
itself.
panes.
Yes. So, we actually
Age
have. So the
of
Age of War is also going to be a little bit
War.
different. from
Vamos a
the Age of
actualizarlo en
Sorcery
tweets,
in that
por lo menos.
a lot of
Vale,
the things
no,
that we're gonna be
paso a hacerlo
adding
ahora
in the
si nos
first
jodo aquí.
chapter is like a major
Pero,
foundation to the things that we want to build toward
Pinta,
in
¿cómo que?
for
¿Qué
the
tal?
future updates,
Age
or
of-
future
a ver
chapters
qué nos
for
trae
Age
de
of
nuevo.
War.
A ver qué dice
So, you know,
ahora.
Dennis just touched on like purges. There'll be more details about that later, because
Los primeros se están
map on exactly
flipando.
what our aims are.
War es
With the
batalla,
community.
guerra.
Just one moment here.
War es guerra.
There we go.
Vale.
The first chapter.
Primer
will include
capítulo.
New clan features and new clan social features,
Hordas de
including
clanes,
the ability- well,
emblemas
we'll
de
get into it a
clan,
little bit, but, the ability to,
cambios
create
en
and
combate
collect,
y armas,
treasure and currency for your
y
clan.
nuevo pase de batalla,
Finally, be able to
tienda
display
y
clan-
contenido
customize and
gratis.
display
A
clan
ver
emblem,
qué
as well as
es.
clan permissions.
Repito,
And as also Dana said,
clanes de hordas, hordas de
beginning
clanes,
of, substantial
emblemas de
improvement
clanes,
to, the
y
combat
nuevos
system, like,
y
and all the
cambios
combat
en el sistema de
mechanics,
armas y
within
combate.
Exiles. And then later on in chapter
Nuevo
2,
pase de
we'll
batalla,
have, a huge
nueva
new update
tienda,
for purges,
cambios
which
a la tienda, me
we'll be getting
imagino,
into,
y nuevo contenido
we
gratis, que supongo que
unfortunately
será
won't be
el
able
típico
to
contenido
a ton
gratis que
today,
nos
but,
ponen dentro del
obviously
pase
stay
de
tuned, because
batalla, que
it's-
aunque
it's
no
all
lo
in
compres,
testing
te
right now.
adquieres,
We
pues
have a lot of
eso,
stuff,
ese rollo,
that
¿vale?
I'm really excited
Pero,
to
a ver,
share. And then
a ver,
you
¿qué más?
might see this in chapter 3.
Si os fijáis, ya lo están haciendo adelanto del capítulo 2 y el 3 de Age of War, ¿de acuerdo? Por Reverb Map.
I know it doesn't slake your thirst for more.
Reverb Map es cambio de ubicación de purgas, ¿no?
So yeah, let's
Bueno,
see.
me lo han quitado. Lo revisaremos, ¿no? Lo
I do
analizaremos
wanna
con
do a
calma.
little quick overview of each of those chapters as well.
Sí, tío.
We've got that page and we'll go
Ya
more in
era
detail
ahorita,
about
¿eh?
chapter one
Ya
today.
era ahorita, Kyle. A ver de qué se trata. Supongo que hasta el día 15 del mes que viene no lo vamos a tener, 15 de junio.
Yeah, please.
So in chapter one,
Más o menos por los
one of the
tiempos que
largest
suelen ir
activities
marcando
we'll be
esta
doing, most
gente,
of the
¿vale? Con los
content
otros
will be
anteriores
formed,
capítulos, una vez que lo
around
anuncian
collection
en
and building.
stream hasta
So
que
you'll be able to
lo ponen
create your own
en...
treasure room inside your base,
Aquí
and there will be some
podemos
specific kind of treasure
descargarlo
that
y
you need to
jugarlo
go out
ya.
and bring back. A lot of things that have sort of value to people already, like gems and ore and coins and things like that, will be marked as treasure. And we'll show some more stuff off about that later as well. But the whole point
Age
is you're
of War,
collecting
me
money,
gusta,
bringing it back to your
Me gusta
base,
muchísimo más.
keeping it
Tiene más
tied
gancho
with
que Age of
how much
Amazon. A mí
money
no me
you
gustaba,
have. So in chapter 2,
No, o sea, el
that's when
Age
the
of
purge
Amazon.
revent mechanics will come in.
Amazon
And we've
Prime.
taken the purge system and completely
No me gustaba
removed
nada,
what was
tío.
there before and written a new purge
No me
from the
gustaba
ground
nada.
up that will be a completely
El nombre ya
different
me mola
experience
más.
than the purge as it exists
Ahora,
now.
a ver el
We're looking
contenido.
at something
A ver
that's
la
lot
tienda
more
que nos trae.
warlike.
A ver el pase de
Like a
batalla.
base
Si
will
es la
form
misma
out,
basura que
and
suele
any
ser.
forward operating base will
Pero es
form
que
outside
para
of
mí es una
your
basura el
base.
pase de batalla.
They'll
Me he
set
pillado el
up,
primero.
you know, catapults and attack with waves towards key points in your base,
Eh.
trying to breach to that treasure room so they can steal the treasure and take it away from you.
Artículos gratis. Seguramente, pues eso, los que ponen así de vez en cuando en la tienda.
To help reinforce your base and go up higher
Y los
and
que
higher
aparecen en el pase de
difficulty
batalla.
in the purge.
No creo que pongan más.
So it will be kind of like a progression of sorts where you fight weak ones and then you fight stronger and stronger ones. And it all kind of depends how much money you have. And the reason for that is rooted in the purge lore that we already have. So, you know, we already have the relic hunters in the exiled lands. We have the purge coming through and attacking you. The story behind the purge and the relic hunters is that they're both in the exiled lands in search of riches, right? They're there to find things that are worth money and take them out. So now that's what they'll actually do. We'll have relic hunters in the second chapter that will attack you when you're trying to carry treasure to your base. And whenever the actual purge occurs as well, those will all be kind of themed around the people like, you know, trying to come get those things from you. And then in the third chapter, you'll be able to turn the tables on the people that are attacking you and go back to their base and assault them and steal from them.
And of course, like, yeah, the another essential thing or element I think of a lot of Robert E. Howard's old stories is also like, you know, Conan is oftentimes depicted as a thief as well, stealing from the rich or having these like jobs to like go infiltrate a tower to find some incredible treasure or gem or something like that. In fact, in our old MMO Age of Conan, the barbarian class was actually considered a rogue class because like even though, you know, barbarians I guess in like fantasy tropes are like supposed to be like the unga bunga swing fight stuff, but you know, Conan's version of barbarianism is
Exacto, Kael.
just like not being a part of whatever
Sería muy buena idea, pero igual, yo qué sé, la idea no les mola o no las tienen o no, es que muchas veces yo creo que no es por falta de ideas, porque tienen una comunidad bastante grande que se las da. Hay una comunidad de mods que es en Steam que no es ni medio normal. Sin embargo, tío,
Indeed.
les cuesta.
And that, as you'll see, is the motivation for, you know, what will be unfolding in the exiled lands.
So yeah, so to take a step back, so you may have heard Dennis talk about like treasures and being able to carry treasures and be able to like grow your hoard. That's what's going in. We have chapter one, and that's something that we can actually show you today and show you how that works and show you how that can be like the foundation for everything else that we're working toward as well.
Yeah. And there's a little more stuff I'll talk about too a little bit later, but you know, the whole idea is kind of having this central currency system that you can use to pay into other systems in the game later down the line.
Yeah, so like finally like a better use for like those gold coins and the gold bars that you might find here and there too. Instead of just melting them down or throwing them in the
Venga, darnos más novedades.
for them or something
Venga,
like
venga,
that.
venga,
So
venga.
actually have, like,
Queremos
a
más
value that you
novedades.
can add
Queremos más
to your
novedades.
hoard as well.
Queremos más cositas.
We can show that off, I guess, too. So we have a little
Poquito de hidromiel.
Let's just do live.
People also wearing, they love the mug that you're
Yeah, I saw a little bit of chat. They're like, oh, can we play prom coins for that mug? No, this is supposed to be like an internal thing. Like we got this for our summer party.
Yo quiero esa jarra, qué
Sorry for the green
guapa.
screen effect, but it's a Funcom branded mug, and then on the back is this you can trust.
It's supposed to be for beer, right? Or
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be like a beer mug, so yeah, like this you can trust. It's a reference to the
Hey,
old,
que
like,
nos manden
Riddle
una a
Steel,
los que creamos contenido.
or I think it was
A
Riddle Steel,
enseñarla,
like when,
que así
it's
les
like a
damos
vision of
publicidad,
Conan's father
cojones.
telling him like you can trust no man, and hands him a sword and implying, you know, this you can trust.
Send me
implying,
one.
You know, the steel at your side is the only thing that you can trust, like yourself and, you know, your arms, as it were.
From the first Schwarzenegger movie.
That's what it was. That's right. Oh yeah, seeing Arnold showing excitement on potentially reprising his role as Conan or something, that'd be really cool. Okay, so before I get into that, before I get sidetracked, as I do sometimes because I have terrible ADHD, let's swap to in-game view.
A ver,
Hello?
A ver, señores.
Okay, hold on. Oh, that's why. Hello.
Are we going to the horde?
Yeah, let's show off the horde.
El escudo que parece una mesa
Oh,
en la
it's in the
espalda.
main building here. So yeah, you just So just go through those big 3 doors, and it's just like.
Vale, preview del Age of War.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool building set.
Yeah, so here we're also, of course, so the update, of course, will also include, as you might expect, and we'll go into it later as well, like new building pieces, new costumes, new doors and decorations.
Nuevas decoraciones, señores. Son las que se ven ahí, gatitos de bronce, baúles, figuritas, lámparas, estandartes. Por lo que parece una cama desde aquí, una mesa, una cabeza de león, un tío leyendo. Las pilas estas de monedas, me imagino que también estas las hay en mods, ¿vale? Que son pilas así de monedas para decoración.
Visually, it's represented by a large chest, and also comes bundled with a friendly accountant. They're checking your books for you. And then you can also check your clan's total.
¿Esto qué es en plan? ¿Que la puedes ir a comprar ahí directamente con monedas?
Value, like, you know, what's in your hoard by like simply interacting with it to see what's all there. And all items, like so you saw in the chest, for example, there's a bunch of like gold and
y no
gold
se le
coins,
ocurra mucho, ¿no?
that you just place directly into the chest, and it will be counted for your hoard. And then you may have noticed on that list also a couple of so anything marked treasure will count towards your clan's hoard total. Now, when Dennis was talking to our friend here, you might have also noticed a couple entries at the bottom that. Ancient Lemurian statue, for example, Directo cat idol, and you can see they're worth a ton in comparison. So what are these? These are called heroic treasures.
Como el casco de los cuernos. Pero esto parece de mod, tío.
In your inventory, we also have these giant centerpieces that are worth a ton. They're larger than life. You can't quite fit them in your pockets, and so you have to hold them
Contenido está en
around.
desarrollo, está sujeto a cambios, ¿eh? Para saber.
Oops.
So big, in fact.
That the walking animation
Yeah.
isn't correctly yet.
Still in development, folks. Yeah, everything shown here today is still in development. Is subject to change. You might see a couple bugs here and there. Please excuse us for this.
Mola más. Ahora cuando coges algo lo coges de verdad, literalmente.
In various camps throughout both Isle of Sipta and the Exiled Lands. When you clear the camp, you can then pick up the heroic treasure and transport it back to your base. Now, the exciting part is when you're holding it, you know, you're slowed, you have to haul it around, and you're completely vulnerable while you're holding it. So it's very important that you bring. We highly suggest bringing some friends that you trust.
It is really fun with friends.
It is, yeah.
Like going through a camp with just a bunch of guys coming to attack you, and that's kind of part of, you know, why in chapter 2 we'll see another evolution of this. But in chapter 1, you know, you'll just have to defend from the native population, whatever camp you're walking through. And in chapter 2, we're going to have it so relic hunters actually ambush you, trying to take the treasure from you while you're carrying it.
Yeah, so I'm seeing in chat also, can it be dropped? Yes. So like, you know, if you do get ambushed, like, yeah, you can drop it and then take up arms if you really need to, like, obviously.
Like any action.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So,
whoopsie, that wasn't the cat. Yeah, so like anything you do, like.
Qué bien se lo pasan ellos solos jugando con los muñequitos. Les pasa como a nosotros al final. Enganchan al Conan y se olvidan de que están haciendo una presentación.
I don't think
¿Sabes lo que te digo?
but I believe you can teleport with the treasures, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you can teleport with them.
Se han cargado hasta el suelo, haciendo la demostración. Les pasa como a nosotros.
Thralls or mounts carry them later down the road. But for the initial release, it's not the case. I'm not even sure that we'll do it during this age or not.
No te va a dejar, tienes que quitar el primero todo eso en medio, cazurro.
Yeah, it's something that got brought up like an internal like playtest and stuff like that too. And so also something to note, sometimes you notice also this like big like room-wide VFX there, like all that like funky stuff. That's kind of like the area, like the sphere of influence for your horde. So any treasures, like any big treasures placed within that area will be considered as part of your horde. So you can see it's actually a pretty sizable space. You don't have to like put it right in the same room. It allows you to make like a big elaborate treasure room.
Me hace mucha gracia porque no usan sus propios DLCs para la presentación. El suelo ese es de mod. Es que te lo juro que a veces, tío, es que dan ganas de decir, macho, hacer lo que os dé la puta gana, me voy a PC, cojo mods y me olvido de vosotros, porque...
And in fact, I believe we're doing. We can touch on this a little bit later when we talk about combat.
But a lot
of camps have also just been like kind of redone or rebalanced or just repopulated in various ways as well.
This guy's forearm strength is insane.
That's a hell of a posture, dang. Yeah. I think that's like core strength, actually.
¿Para qué vamos a usar? ¿Para qué vamos a hacer nosotros cosas nuevas y ya nos las hacen ellos?
Oh yeah.
Being pulled out.
La gente gratis, además.
So you can Scrooge McDuck into the gold pot.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
No.
What?
Huh? What just happened? Oh, sorry. I just realized that I didn't move the video over. Anyway, yeah. So we have a diving animation. We can show that. Yes.
¡Ojo! ¿Y ese salta?
We're actually adding a new diving animation into the update, and I had a little clip.
Una nueva animación para saltar así en plan para la piscina, ¿sabes? Para saltar así.
Mira,
qué bueno.
So you can actually, in fact,
¡Ey, cómo mola!
If you want to jump 3 feet and then go head first into your pile of coins.
¡Ey, cómo mola el salto ese!
Go hog wild. You can do that. Yes, off the top rope.
Es un picado, es un salto al agua. ¡Qué bueno, tío! Eso me gusta. No vale la pena todavía, pero eso me gusta.
Oh, sweet, yeah. We have a couple other new items actually along those lines too, which we can show in a bit. I think we had a couple that we laid out.
I don't know if it was totally clear, but like all these gold
También puede
piles
ser.
and everything on the floor and everything are things that you can put out.
No sé, Kyle. A mí de momento me parece... Bueno, a ver.
Yeah, this is just like how we dressed it up. Like this is how our guy over in Oslo, Torregel Anderson, the person who like builds all these like huge bases for all our like marketing B-roll and other screenshots. He builds stuff like this, and so yeah, he arranged the room however he wants. I can imagine in chat right now being like, oh yeah, it's too big for the claim spam. I know.
We also have.
But that's why we do it on private servers.
We'll show stuff later, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we can show that too. And since it's right there, I mean, we have new dungeon pieces that are coming up as well. I did see someone make a comment about like, make a joke about like, oh yeah, it's the Age of Death by Snoo Snoo or something like that. And we saw the tweet and we were like, heh.
Yeah, someone linked the image of
ese salto con las hostia que no. Una en cada mano. A lo Kratos.
Yeah, so, you can
a lo Kratos totalmente.
To them, or actually you can also throw a thrall.
Yeah, you can put unconverted thralls into this as well. Right now you can't take them out. That's the thing we might change later, like making it unconverted thrall storage or something. But for now, it's just you put one in and they're stuck in there
and so
until you replace it.
Me gusta, está el muro este para atar a la peña. Supongo que podrás poner un NPC ahí, un esclavo para, como en los mods, para el que está allí preso.
And yeah, like I guess the main thing is like, you know, why is this important to you? Why is this something you should care about? Like you want to like build up.
Qué poco gusto tienen para las armaduras, de verdad.
Because later you're going to be able to use those funds that you know use that currency you've accumulated for a ton of things for your clan and for your base and you know, for your server basically. We have a lot of really awesome stuff cooking up.
Yeah, it'll also be the.
Voy a buscar una cosita en Google.
That's right.
A ver si ya.
You know, if you want to get high tier ones, you should have a high full overflowing coffer.
Yeah, if you have a huge horde, then yeah, you're gonna get a consummate bunch of folks being like, hey, let me get some of that. I'm trying to break your walls down to get a piece. And so like, you know, obviously with clan hordes being a thing, like. There's definitely an emphasis on like clan unity and bringing your players under the same banner, and so to that end, also we also wanted to make sure that clans and players and communities finally had better ways to express their own like individual group's identity, and so we are going to also be rolling out a new clan emblem workbench. clan
Oh,
emblem totem, which allows
una
you
mesa
to,
para hacer los
customize
emblemas del
with-
clan,
with
señores.
some caveats for your clan to display on various items and new placeables that we're adding as well. I think what's going into the update are a couple different shields. One of them is equipped on the character right here that displays your clan emblem, as well as a variety of building placeables and wall pieces and various banners that you can put around your base as well.
La vas a poder poner en tus
So you can see
escudos
some
para
banners.
identificar
Some
el
up
clan.
My pink fish.
Me parece
actually,
muy
one of the
bueno
sickest
esto,
things you can get,
Muy
is
bueno
in
para
the
cuando estamos en
corner
PvP,
of this base that I know the layout of very well.
Very intimately, yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Hasta lo que es los caballos también les
So
puedes
that
poner
appears on
tu
your- on your
logotipo de
horse
tu
as
clan. Hecho con la mesa de
Yes,
logotipos,
and then,
¿vale? Con la mesa
we'll go into it a little bit also,
de fabricación
but,
de insignias de clanes.
when someone with
Me
permissions
parece
to
algo
update
muy
the emblem
bueno,
for your
tíos,
clan updates
esto,
it, it is automatically propagated across every surface that your clan owns that is able to display a banner, so you don't have to like go back and like painstakingly update each individual
Identificas, tío, es
piece
que
or
muchas veces
anything
estás en
like that.
PvP y no sé
And then there'll
sabes
also
si
be some
estás matando
permissions
un
as well, so
compañero o
like
no.
if you know, you can only set it so like a certain person or a person of a certain
A ver,
rank in the
tienes
clan
ahí
can edit
unos
the emblem.
preestablecidos, unos iconos
like
preestablecidos,
basic
unos fondos
recruits that
preestablecidos
for example,
y una
and
gama de
everything.
365 colores con
So here's the
saturación
UI,
y
that
brillo
we're-
para
that we're
modificarlo
working with.
a tu gusto.
You'll be able to choose from a variety
Creo que
of,
solamente son 5 logotipos y
emblems and
5 fondos,
backgrounds
por lo
that
que estoy
we,
viendo.
They're preset. I saw a question in chat asking if you can import
Bueno,
your own
a ver si
emblems.
vemos
We
más
won't
de
be
5.
allowing that for this feature just because that opens up a lot of unfortunate
Adult content.
yeah, it's just you just know people are going to use that to troll people, and it's like that's just not something that we want, and we have the ability to it's just not something that we want for anyone really. And so we'll have a bunch of preset emblems and backgrounds that you can choose from, and we'll be adding more as time goes on as well. We'll also be adding a variety of emblems, for example, to Battle Pass rewards.
Ah, no, hay más.
And
Son
that might, for
10
example,
fondos
be,
y 15
taking place in, like,
logotipos.
maybe some of
¿Vale?
those
15
mass
iconos
sprays that we've seen a lot of
y
comments
5
about,
fondos
just
a
to help
escoger
increase the value
para
of those.
crear tu
And then
logotipo
also,
y los colores ya, pues los que tú
in
quieras.
case you're
Porque
wondering,
prácticamente
also,
tienes todos, al tener lo que es el
as
arco
long
iris.
as the person setting the emblem has a special emblem
Ahí los tenéis,
learned
las
that
siguientes.
doesn't come by default, that's still displayed
Especie
for everyone who
serpiente.
has
Ah, no, y
a
dos
thing.
más.
That's still displayed.
Serían
If that
12.
gets updated,
12
everyone still gets to show it
iconos
off, even if,
para
like,
los clanes.
like if Dennis has a special emblem and I don't, or like he got
Y 10
like some
fondos.
emblem from
En
somewhere
eso
else
sí
that
que
I
hemos
don't
acertado.
know myself, I still get to show it off on my thing because he set the banner and then it shows up on my
Bueno,
stuff.
12 logotipos
just
está
in case
bastante
that's a
bien.
concern.
Everyone in the clan will see the same image, no matter what it's set to, whether you own that thing or not.
Pardon.
Un estandarte con bufos. A ver si dicen algo. ¿Ves?
Yes.
Cool.
Mira qué bonito.
So,
Con un caballo.
and then we'll be adding more things that also like we also intend on adding more things that also show clan emblems, and again we'll be showing off and adding more emblems in the future as well. Just trying to read through here. Let's see here. So
Todos los estandartes
that's about it for the clan
se cambian
features that we're
automáticamente
coming up,
con
and
ese
these are the basic things that
logotipo
we're adding,
tuyo.
for the first
O de tu clan.
phase of the Age
Está de
of War.
puta madre, tío, eso, me gusta.
We wanted to move into
Me gusta
combat.
eso. Y si tuviese un
In a
bufo,
bit, but I also wanted to take a minute to see if there's any like additional questions that we can answer about some of the clan features now. and
el
then
Strife está diciendo ahí en directo en
major
YouTube,
combat stuff, the
reportar
nitty-gritty
las
system stuff.
megabases.
What happens if Purge is disabled?
You just won't be able to summon a purge.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the thing I can talk a little bit more about too. The purge isn't going to be an overbearing system that just occurs because you play the game. It will become an opt-in system. So now when you want to purge, just like the convergence trap, you'll be able to say, I would like a purge now. And
Oye,
it's
¿y habrá
gonna
esa nueva
ignore
música?
and suddenly
¿Pondrán esa
purge
música que se
attack you.
escucha de fondo?
It won't just happen for no reason.
And all that, pretty much as far as I know, like all the stuff that we're going to be showing off here will also be available on SIPTA as well,
yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Sí, lo mismo para
Obviously, like
Sipta.
any changes that we make to like specific map elements in the exiled lands, which there might be some small changes with the shift into a new age. Some things from the prior age may have changed a little bit.
Yeah, some things from the old age have changed. Some new people are showing up.
Yeah. Some notable NPCs may, for example, have taken a load off, lost a few pounds, really trimmed some weight off their body. Yo, hey, we got a question from chat.
Are there permissions for storage, like for the coffer and stuff, like clan permissions at all, or to keep teammates or clanmates from taking?
Oh, just like ganking the gold.
That won't really be expanded upon until the second chapter. I am almost positive that is in our design for it, so not just anyone can spend it. So eventually, yes, but in chapter 1, it's going to be anyone can move whatever's there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
but there's nothing to do with it really. The actual value in chapter 1.
Yeah, you just want to collect because then you'll be able to use that for the purges in the next chapter. And obviously, like when you're in your clan, like make sure you recruit people that you trust. Like that's just kind of like we can't really like govern all that. Like that's kind of up to you and your community. Yes, question from chat.
What happens if someone takes your shield that's got your emblem on it? Does it change the emblem to your current emblem?
No entiendo a la tía que pregunta.
Yeah, it would change to match your guild your clan if your clan had an emblem. If they don't have one, it's either going to revert to like a default or
like have a blank surface or something. Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, right now and always it'll just do whatever your clan has. So if you take it from someone, your clan emblem appears on that.
That is a really neat idea, though, like the idea of like a trophy or something like that from like kills you've made from enemy players or something like that. Yeah, that is a cool idea. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right. Just going over chat just like really quick again and swapping back over to gameplay.
Someone said alliances would be nice. We actually have a plan right now in the 3rd chapter to allow people to be able to make an alliance, but it's still going to require some play testing and stuff like that too. The whole idea is just that you'd be able to make a temporary alliance with another person or clan, and that would just reduce the amount of PvP damage you deal to them, and it would remove target locking, just like if you're in a normal clan with someone. And then after some period of time or some event, that would get broken, but that is in our plans.
What about Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of comments about the PlayStation 5 specifically.
Están con preguntas y respuestas de la gente. Están hablando ahora a ver si era upgrade de la Play 5.
Oh, something I will say though, something that we are aware of and we're working on a fix for that should be in this update is I know a lot of folks have talked about like disconnects. And that is something that we actually have a fix in for in testing right now. And so yeah, well, we hope to have that out most likely with the Age of War update, which will be coming a little bit later. But we do have a handle on it, so yeah, be assured. Yeah, we are aware that we know that's something that a lot of folks are worried about.
We know it's a while out, but the process to get updates out is lengthy, so it's about the soonest we really can.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like if it was just like Steam, for example, it would be one thing. But yeah, with their other partners in publishing, like on consoles, there's a lot of additional steps and certifications that we have to do. So it's not as simple a process as like push button send update.
Yep.
As much as
no nos han dado fecha.
Sadly.
Tampoco.
Okay, just wanted to move on. We'll take some more questions towards the end, but we still have a lot of meaty stuff to cover. And so I wanted to segue into combat and combat mechanics and combat changes.
This is all free updates so far.
Yeah. So everything shown right here is just, it's going to come baked in with the Age of War update when that launches. We don't have a release date to share at this moment. However, it may go into, it's going to be on public beta extremely soon. We'll talk about that in just a sec. But yeah,
the armor set I was wearing is not free, right?
Well, sorry,
but all the stuff we've talked about, all the content is going to be free.
Yeah, so all the features and such like that, like the new clan systems, like the horde and emblem systems, all the combat stuff, and then all the future things we're talking about. Also, you won't. These are all going to be free updates. We're sticking to our commitment of like having these like major gameplay features be like the big free updates that you get, just like sorcery, for example, and then the what kind of like supports the development of that and really funds the development of that is like the systems that you see, like the battle pass and the bazaar and such like that. So we hope you're loving like the free stuff that we're able to give you with this. So again, thank you for your support because that's what allows us to put out this really cool stuff and realize our vision for the game without charging for it for new features. Let's see. Okay, So hopefully that addresses some of your concerns. And again, yeah, I know you're going to have a ton of questions, and there'll be plenty of time to ask them. There'll be places, you know, we welcome you to drop comments on the forums as well, or on social media. We always read that. Just please be, you know, please be constructive if you can. If you're really angry, just, you know, don't use try not to use expletives. Don't make it personal. Anyway, sorry. Talking about making it personal, we're going to now detail some big changes to the combat paradigm within Conan Exiles.
Combate.
Yeah, this might seem a little bit scattered because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'll probably remember some of it while I'm talking about it. So
Yes.
we're addressing two big things in this age. One of them is that we are working on AI in general. So we know that right now,
Hola,
on
Meta.
servers with a
Pues,
number of players, it
Age
starts to
of
break down
War
pretty bad.
se va a
Even if
llamar.
you're playing in single player, it's not always
Te
terribly
van a poder
interesting.
hacer crear insignias de clanes
So we're
personalizadas.
kind of coming in on both of those fronts, right? Like, let's try to make it fun to fight things to begin with, and then also try to fix those on servers. So, to begin with,
Así
one
que
of the biggest
no se va a
problems,
llamar Age
one of
of
the biggest
Amazon.
issues that I had was players seem to have almost infinite stamina, and I know a lot of people
El
will
Jeff este estará contento que no tiene que poner ninguna demanda.
might recognize this with like dagger spam, for instance, right? Like just spamming light
Nada
attack
meta.
on daggers. It auto targets your enemy. It keeps going, and you can just spam it forever because it costs 8 stamina. So one of the first big things we did was increase the cost of stamina for attacks, and increase the regeneration rate of stamina. So now there's a point where you can run out of stamina and get stamina back again. That gives other players and AI
Se incrementa
a chance
la
to actually
estamina
attack you.
en los ataques y los
For this
saltos.
update, we had a system in
Se
that let
regenera
AI just become invulnerable
al
to
principio
stuns
más
for a
rápido.
short period of time. And when you're playing the game, it feels like a
Ha
button
habido
because you
un
know when you hit
rebalanceo de
something,
los
you get
enemigos,
stunned.
generalmente
So why
a la
have to hit it
baja,
for 2.5 seconds to
pero con
stop
más
getting
daño.
stunned?
O sea, menos vida,
So
pero
we
hacen
took
más
that
daño,
system out
hacen más pupa.
completely and just made, enemies,
Dos
you know, they
nuevos
get the
jefes
chance
de
to attack
mazmorra.
back now when you run out of stamina. We also did a HP
Más
nerf
enemigos
across
como
enemies for enemies across the
elefantes
board,
y
which
dragones
also makes your character
en
feel
múltiples
stronger,
sitios.
and,
Una
increase the amount of
clasificación
damage that a lot of
de
enemies
las
do as well
armas.
to increase their threat. So there's a little
Ahora
bit
las
more
armas
tension in
legendarias van a
combat
ser
now than
mucho
there
más
was before.
poderosas.
That's really the whole aim to all of the changes is to
Los
increase
ataques
like, the ebb and flow of
fuertes
combat,
harán
to
más
feel like there are
daño
more tense moments and moments where,
y
you know, you
aplicarán
can
un
breathe and
efecto
kind of
secundario
overcome the enemy.
en el golpe.
Yeah, let's see. The new two skull
También ha
champion
sido
enemies,
tocada la durabilidad
for
de las
1, 2,
armas.
and 3 skull enemies,
Bueno,
we also rebalanced
a
the
ver,
difficulty,
a ver cómo resultan a
with the
partir de
idea
ahora.
essentially that the number of skulls reflected the number of players we would think that you would need to fight them. So you can still kill the Red Mother, which is still 3 skulls by yourself.
No lo
It would just
incrementéis
take
a
longer,
la campeona
but
de la
trying to
arena.
reduce
Hostia,
the
es que
amount of
ya
feeling
se han
of
incrementado el
sponge
daño de los
enemies.
jefes. La campeona de la arena ya de una hostia te mata, entonces.
Classifications updated.
Vas con 200 de vida, te pega una hostia y ya estás. Estás muerto.
Recategorizing a number of items to be classified with the unique, epic, and legendary distinctions.
Right.
And so, kind of part of that is that legendary weapons are getting giga buffed. We know legendary weapon. We've seen a lot of feedback from players saying that they just feel like legendary weapons just don't really aren't consummate with their title, like they don't really feel legendary, and so we want to address that. So legendary weapons will be they will take the throne of being just extremely powerful weapons. However,
Tiene pinta,
they will not be craftable
Tiene
anymore.
pinta. Porque han tocado armas y vida y regeneración de estamina y cositas así.
So yeah, legendary weapons will
Se
be
viene
like at the
era
very top
PvP.
tier of like endgame items that you collect through adventuring, and then under that would be epic items, which are still craftable, really powerful, but a legendary item of a similar classification or similar tier or like level tier. A legendary weapon will or should be the intent is that it will outperform the legendary.
Oh, it will.
Yeah. Nice, cool. And then under that are uniques. Sorry.
It won't outperform. The legendaries will be the top no matter what.
Okay, cool.
Like no matter what, that's going to be the best thing you can get.
Cool.
Then there's also, whenever we play test, we found ourselves going into camps a lot and seeing, we would loot a lot of chests and there was a lot of stuff to find, but we never really found anything interesting in those chests. So in the second chapter, there will become a really big revamp to the amount of like the type of items that you find in a chest. We have plans like we never add base materials, so you'll never loot plant fiber or sticks from a chest again. You know, it has to be unique items or combined materials. Additionally, we made a new tier of weapon called a unique weapon, which will have a blue border, and the blue border weapons will be better than what you can typically craft in their given tier. But they will also, you know, you won't be able to repair them forever, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. You know, I've said it a couple times now.
Yeah, and then like unique weapons are still strong, but like they themselves will still be outperformed by their epic and legendary counterparts for the most part. But they'll still be really good. Like if you get one, like it'll carry you for a while for sure.
Sí, Rubén, cierto.
And there's 5 total tiers of weapon strength, and legendary sits at the top, and then working yourself from, you know, stone to iron to you know, we have a section that's like
Las armas que dropeaban los jefes no valían para nada.
and then there's like all rare stuff.
Oh yeah,
Normalmente vamos, hay muchos que ni se
We
cogen.
put like Kari steel and obsidian
¿Para qué?
and anything
Para ir
that's just
cargando
not
con el
like
exceso de
basic
peso.
steel, basically like in its own tier, and they're called like rare metal or rare ore weapons, and they're just a bit under legendary. But also the last bullet point on Andy's slide is durability now has to be managed. I think I've spilled the beans several times on stream that one of our design guidelines for Exiles is
A
that
ver, yo
nothing
la
is
espada de
permanent.
Chrome
And
le he llegado a
you
usar,
should
pero
basically always have to
ahora
work to
últimamente nada,
maintain and keep
porque es a
things
dos
up
manos.
so that, you know,
Pero
the
sí, es
world
un
is
pisapapel
pushing
muy
back
bonito.
against you. And with weapons right now, it's not really the case
Está más
because you
abajo,
can
¿no?
get or build
Ahí.
one weapon and
Pues si se
keep
llena el
that
chat
weapon
que se
forever
que
just
llega
by
arriba.
repairing it over and over again. So in this update, there will be a bit of a rebalance there as well, where when you repair an item, it will lose its maximum durability. You know, depending on the quality of repair kit you use, that durability may be more or less, but you will have to use repair kits to repair things, and you won't be able to keep those items forever because of that. This is a big thing, especially for legendaries, because like we want you to explore in the world. We want you to leave your base and go out and get something cool, be excited that you got it, and bring it back.
No valen para
and
nada,
use it
meta.
whenever you feel like it's a good situation. So I know that might sound very scary.
Arreglarán lo
The
que no
numbers are pretty
aparezca el juego en la
forgiving,
biblioteca de
it's
Xbox.
not, you know, if you guys are
Agrels o
familiar with
como...
playing Breath of the Wild,
No sé cómo
some
llamarte
weapons are
realmente
backing
porque me...
very quickly.
Yeah, we're not
Agrels.
gonna have
We're not trying to copy
we're not
Ese
gonna have
problema
weapons breaking 3 hits, don't worry.
no es normal, te
Yeah,
tiene que
your
aparecer
things
en la
will last
biblioteca
long,
de
even with
Xbox.
the worst repair kits.
Tienes
But
un
they won't
enlace
last forever.
en la descripción de este vídeo a mi Discord.
Yeah, and then also
Pínchalo,
as a,
háblame por
side
privado
point also,
y te lo soluciono
legendary
cuando
repair kits are
puedas.
being renamed to Grandmaster repair
No te
kits to avoid
preocupes.
any confusion with like legendary kits and legendary weapons. And then also as a side point, any journey steps that previously required you to craft a legendary item will be changed to just require an epic weapon of a similar type instead. So that shouldn't block you as well. And if, in case we missed anything, like obviously, like please let us know.
Age of Pain.
It's going up in tests, so let us know. So yeah, obviously, like this, you know, this sounds kind of scary, but we're hoping that, and we might be able to kind of show an example of kind of what that might look like. But don't worry, like once you get your hands on it, we're hoping that it doesn't sound as scary. And obviously, like please leave your feedback, like when you do get your hands on it and play around, because we're all going to be listening to that.
Yeah, same with the stamina changes. You know, I don't know if we didn't really show it off yet, but they cost a lot more stamina now. But the flip side of the coin is your stamina comes back much faster.
Yes.
So, you know, you really find yourself doing little strings of combos and then waiting a second, giving some breathing room, and then doing some more. So I have a character right now that isn't, you know, they have some grit. I think it's coming from these, from these armor pieces. They have a little extra stamina. So they don't have the base 100 stamina. And I'll just give a couple examples of some weapons. So I think this is a one-handed sword, not a short sword. It is a short sword. So a short sword, basically the rule is like the smaller the weapon, the less stamina it costs to swing in general. And it should feel very natural. So when I use light attacks with this sword, you can see it's taking about 20.
Vale.
maybe
Este es
a
el
little
ataque
less
de
than
la espada
15
corta
or
de una
something
mano.
like that. And then when I use heavy attacks, the heavy attacks are much more costly. They're taking more, you know, like the other ones are like 15 and these are like 20, basically.
Yeah, you'll see across the board.
Pues si la espada corta ya estaba rota. Ahora
previously, I
flipas.
think weapon attacks cost between 3
Ahora
and 9
flipas la
stamina,
espada
and then
corta, como
across the board, they'll be- they'll cost
lo
from
rotísima
10
que
up
puede
to
estar,
40
¿eh?
stamina per swing. But on the same token, you'll also notice that your stamina, like the delay before stamina starts regenerating, is like almost instant. So previously it used to be like up to like almost 3 seconds. Yeah, like almost 3 seconds before your stamina starts to regenerate, and now it's 0.1 seconds across, or
Yeah, it's 0.1.
Yeah, 0.1
That's
seconds.
the lowest we can set it.
okay, yeah,
basically.
gotcha. Yeah, so it's as close to instant as you can possibly make it within like our engine. So
Yeah.
you're spending your stamina a lot faster, but you're regaining it much faster as well. And so you get this overhaul to like stamina management. I think the idea is to create a more like back and forth
Sí, ahora
flow
me he
to
fijado cómo
combat,
bajaba la estamina con los
where,
ataques.
like,
chicos.
dodging and
Luego
blocking
miraré.
is more important.
A ver si lo vuelven a hacer, pero
And
luego lo
especially
miraré.
like now that
A ver,
enemies
echar un
aren't
vistazo, a ver
getting,
cómo baja lo que es
they
la-
don't become immune to the hit stun.
A ver cómo baja la estamina.
If
Valimos los
if
bancos,
land,
ya
like,
nos han
good
dado.
hits in, like you create more openings, etc., etc. And in addition to that, all heavy attacks for all weapons across the board, I believe, are going to do more damage and will apply some sort of secondary effect on hit.
¿Qué
whether that be,
espadas
like,
están rotas?
cripple or
Espadas
sunder,
cortas que
bleed,
están
etc.,
rotas, te
etc. So
digo, en la
weapons
isla,
that- weapon
perdón, en las
types
tierras del
previously
exilio,
that didn't
la
have,
corta de metal
apply
celestial,
debuffs or whatever on a heavy attack. Will now
arma
have them.
fácil de
It's like a
craftear,
weapon per weapon basis
barata.
on what gets what. You'll be
Y
able to
para
see in the patch notes when it goes to
PvE,
later.
Yeah,
no estamos
and
hablando de
that's really
PvP,
an
PvP
effort
dagas,
to reduce
dagas
confusion
envenenadas.
as well, because
PvE,
we
espada
increase the
corta,
cost of attacks,
metal
which means
celestial,
with some
isla de
weapons you're
Sipta,
not gonna be able to
la
do
del Darío,
full
la del Darío,
combo.
la
Like,
Gladius
if
del
you have
Vacío.
100 stamina and a
Esas
two-handed
dos
axe, you're not gonna be able to get the final hit in,
están
right?
rotísimas.
So,
La Gladius del
just
Vacío se
making
pone
the
con
stats
100
effective on every
puntos,
heavy
hecha con un
attack is
armero,
always
en un
confusing, and it's
un armero
easier to get
mejorado
down. Just feels better
y con un
across the
tier de
board.
nombre.
And
Te la vas
to
a sacar por
contrast
100
this,
puntos
what I was showing before, this is the
de
two-handed
daño,
mace.
y eso es el ataque,
So
ese
those
es,
attacks
no
are
es ni medio
significantly more
normal.
costly. I think it's something in the ballpark of like 45 stamina
Yeah,
per swing.
it drains
Las
a ton
dagas
of
depredadora,
stamina,
pero eso es para
And
PvP.
Ideally, also like,
Para
also
PvP.
maybe you want to actually put some points in
That's,
grit.
and that's the thing. So now if we actually go back and we put points in grit, which I saved some up just for you guys, we can actually swing it and we can actually do the whole combo now with just a few points in the stat.
Yeah, and then with the regen perk, also you just get your stamina like super duper fast anyway, so you can just like kind of dart in and out of combat. And time your swings better instead of just like kind of.
Vale, es que ese mazo le da estamina, pero mira, en un ataque te quita la mitad de estamina, ¿eh? En un ataque pesado, tiene 205 de estamina y le quita 100 con un ataque pesado.
The ability to rotate while you're performing an attack. So, I'll try to make this not too nerdy, but there's a certain window of time after you commit to an attack.
La recupera rápido, la recupera al instante en cuanto para, pero te imposibilita hacer dos. O si haces dos, te quedas vendido, porque te quedas seco de estamina y vendido. Hay que tener muy controlado el ataque, sobre todo en PvP, O sea, eso va a ser fundamental, controlar la estamina ahora, mucho más que antes. Antes ya era fundamental, pero ahora ya es indispensable controlar la estamina, chicos. Direct, mi niña bonita. Muy buenas. Estamos viendo Age of War, la nueva era, nueva edad.
Speaking, considering you're wielding a giant hammer or axe.
Yeah.
And then someone in chat also made a comment about it, but yeah, like the heavy attacks from like this mace, for example, might cost a ton of stamina, but like I believe we're also substantially increasing the damage of heavy attacks for most things.
Yeah, and in chapter 1 there are some heavy attack buffs, but in chapter 2 that's when you'll see it hit full force.
Yeah, I think sorry.
I was just gonna say we want to make it feel like it was worth the stamina cost that you paid for it.
Yeah. And again, like in play testing, like obviously we want your feedback on it. So if you really feel like especially in testing, like if you feel like it's just not worth it, please let us know.
Sí, de momento nos aporta lo de las insignias de clanes, que me parece lo más novedoso, o lo que más yo creo que vamos a usar todos, además. Lo de crearnos nuestra insignia de clan y poder identificarlos en una batalla de PvP unos y otros. Eso yo creo que es muy interesante.
And of course also,
Sí, porfa,
since
cariño.
we're also talking about like a little bit of the extra like wiggle room for
Pero de todas
targeting,
maneras,
we're also
es lo que
making
dice
some-
Meta.
adding some
O
updates to
sea,
how
es
targeting functions as
más de
well.
lo mismo.
I think
De
outside of the
momento,
space there should be some
no han
like
dicho nada
elephants
han dicho
already
el
that
pase
you
de
can just,
batalla. El
like,
pase de
run out
batalla va a
and,
ser igual.
go find.
Ya os lo digo yo.
But I know a lot of folks have,
just teleport.
okay. I mean, you can just. I think it's right out the door.
Okay.
But we know that, like,
Diego,
something a
gracias
lot
a
of
ti,
folks have
señor.
mentioned is something I personally have also run into.
Muchas gracias, Ginette.
Is when you're facing off against really large enemies, like a dragon or a mammoth, might be on the other side. It just locks onto like their one point, and you're just kind of like sitting there, like struggling to have the camera like follow along, and I know people with like motion sickness issues also kind of have issues with that. And it's just I don't want to just stare at. Anyway, you all know the pain. So there's multiple target anchor lock like points now on, like, for example, on all the mammoth's legs. So now instead of like desperately trying to target some anomalous blob inside their body, you can actually like target their legs, and each one is an individual point. So as like if you move your targeting cursor, yeah, you can lock onto each individual point, which when you're not getting your ass trampled by mammoths should at least help with being able to follow along combat, or if you want to stick to their butt and do backstabs, it should be a little bit easier to follow along.
Yeah, we're trying to put those on, like right now they're on things like frost giants, dragons, mammoths, so anything that's like really big, where you typically find yourself aiming like way high, because whenever you aim at the character, when you aim at an enemy, your character tries to swing at the lock-on point. So right here they swing really high, but right here they swing really low. So it's a lot easier to actually hit them now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, I'm just watching
Bueno,
this man with like yakety sax your horse.
han mejorado lo que es la detección. ¿Ves? Mira, ahora puedes darle a la pierna directamente.
I'm behind the camera.
Yeah.
La detección de
just
al
like,
ataque.
reading chat and relaying questions to us.
There are concerns
Para mí, Conan.
with these stamina changes in regards to
Diego,
sorcerers.
yo soy
Right, yeah, I did see
vikingo.
that. Like, yeah,
No puedo conar.
max-corrupted sorcerers
Lo siento,
will
no me
have a
gustó
lot less
nunca.
stamina to work with, and
Es que
You pretty much have
respeto
to
a que le
invest
gusta,
in
a mí no,
if
no es un
you
juego
wanna
que me haya
be
gustado nunca, tío.
using sorcery
Claro.
like that and still fighting in combat without your followers doing it for you. We still might make some changes here. I'm not totally sure yet. I did playtest several days recently playing a maxed out corruption build with the stamina changes.
Son más de 5 años incluso. No tiene sentido. Pero Meta, yo creo que este juego tiene una comunidad tan grande en PC, con las mods y con todo esto, que es lo que les lleva a esta gente a hacer un poquito de, bueno, pues ya como está esta gente, les vamos añadiendo nosotros cositas y venga. No sé cuál es la filosofía de Funcom, no lo tengo nada claro. O están muy focus en Dune y en Chrono Odyssey, estarán ahí todos concentrados y con eso, y no salen. Los bugs, tío, directamente pasan.
I just have yakety sax playing on repeat right now, just watching these wolves chase this poor horse around.
They're like, sir, your horse.
Your horse, your poor horse. Oh, as an aside, also I should say, so like creatures like wolves and such like that across the board also are going to be much dead. Like they have lower health across the board, but deal more damage to you. And so like a pack of wolves were already not super easy to fight, but when I was testing these things out at this base, I ran into that pack of wolves outside and immediately got slaughtered, like instantly. I was like, oh shit.
Well, I can speak a little bit more.
Eso es lo que tenían que hacer, actualizar a un Real 5 y dejarse de polleces.
Going forward, we're working on some more systems that
Hostia, como quita la maza, ¿no?
second chapter that will limit the
Oh, le deja el caballo temblando, casi se lo carga. Hubiese molado muchísimo que se lo cargasen aquí en directo. Dios, le queda 100 y pico de vida. Hubiese sido buenísimo.
So we're going to try to have enemies basically manage themselves in a way that they don't come at you necessarily one at a time,
Están
but it
diciendo
might
en
be
el chat,
2 or
el
3 at a
caballo
time,
está vivo.
while anyone else that would be engaging with you is kind of just background noise, like taunting in the distance. And that actually might be a good segue to talk about camps as well.
Yeah.
So we've done a pass on all of the camps in Exile Lands and in Sipta. And we've kind of changed the way enemy senses work. Basically, Actually, hold on. I'll give you guys the best example because this is the most pleasing version of it.
Yes, vete esa que es la más común.
Oh yeah, and please don't worry about the logo still saying Age of Sorcery. This is still.
Oh yeah.
Sí, déjalo porque te lo van a matar.
Most of it is. You'll see some of this menu
Y pon
stuff
que es de
is,
día.
new. This is all
Señor,
stuff that we've been
eso
working on
es.
also.
Ahí
Some of it's
estamos.
probably
Muy bien.
replaced as well. It was our-
Vámonos ahora a ver.
Yeah,
A ver
yeah,
qué,
so
a ver
again,
qué has
yeah,
cambiado.
everything shown here is not necessarily representative of like the final product.
Oh yeah, Normal Sky is back. We'll talk more about that stuff when we do
Yes.
the quality of
Bueno,
life stuff as
la...
well. But here's the cool thing. So
Las caravanas
now,
han
whenever I
desaparecido.
run up to New Azagarth, I aggro these guys out front, and that's it. There's not going to be like 500 other guys coming from inside.
Oh my god.
Even this guy, like, look, I'm this close right now, and he doesn't even want to murder me. So yeah, we've kind of reduced the senses on us, a lot of stuff, and the cry for help on a lot of stuff. So you don't just pull an entire huge place at once.
For those that really enjoyed that, you still can.
No he entendido.
Jenkins if you really
No he
want to,
entendido.
but yeah, for most folks, yeah, like the call for help, like aggro radius on like allies or allied enemies was pretty huge, and it was really easy to just get way like mobbed really fast. Yeah,
I would
like,
be swarmed by this.
yeah,
entire camp.
the whole village would be aggroed on you. You'd die instantly. So yeah, like we wanted to limit the number of people that you're fighting.
Sí,
all at
adiós
once, because now
caravanas.
combat is
No he visto la
balanced out,
caravana a la
you know,
entrada.
You're fighting one or two people at most. Otherwise, it becomes
O
like,
falta por ponerla para la
it becomes pretty
actualización,
tough,
pero no la he
actually, or
visto,
that
¿eh?
you, that or you just have to disengage and run and hope that you can take them off one by one, or you know however you want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it feels really good. Whenever you come in and clear one of these camps out, it feels like you're making progress through the camp. It doesn't feel like you're just getting chased by a ton of guys. And we've updated leeching rules too, so enemies won't chase you nearly as far as they used to in most cases. Yeah, there's a lot going into the combat changes, and that's why I say, you know, it's going to be hard for me to even remember everything off the cuff because there's so many little things here and there.
Yeah, and I see some people in chat also talking about like, well, what about, you know, how am I going to distribute your points? I mean, that's kind of up to you. I mean, I think it's reasonable to say and expect that, you know, the sort of like the meta, to use that term, will change with each chapter, with each age. Like, I think it's reasonable to expect that some paradigm changes will come up, and we will ask you to like assess your strategy or your build and come up with new things. Yeah, like, you know, keeps things different. Yeah.
Look, you can't have both. You can't complain about the meta being stale and complain when
No he
they change things.
entendido a qué cojones ha ido a pegarse a Nueva Asgard. ¿A quién lo ha pillado?
You can always let us
¿Lo
know.
habéis pillado
You
vosotros?
can't complain. I just,
¿Habéis entendido qué cojones ha hecho? ¿Qué nos han querido enseñar?
It's always valid.
Sure. It's valid for you.
It is.
¿Tú os habéis
But
enterado?
yeah, so like we have to pick and choose, and so this is the direction that we want to go with, and you know, we look forward to the discussion and the builds that end up coming up because of these
Ultimately, it's
changes.
about making it fun. You know,
Yeah, like
it's
we
about
want-
making the moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yeah, like ultimately we want to rule of cool it, so like if it's fun, like that's the most important thing, and obviously like fun is also a subjective thing, so we want to hear what you guys say.
You play games for fun?
No.
Not because you hate yourself?
No, I mean I already hate myself,
Oh,
but you know,
see.
yeah, that's why I play
It has
online.
nothing to do with the game.
Oh yeah. That's a corollary. That's totally fine. Oh, Nicole. Okay. So yeah, that is. Sorry, had a little brain fart.
Que no he entendido.
Myself here really quick.
Exacto, o sea, yo he visto exactamente igual. Nuevo comportamiento. El tío se ha alegrado cuando la otra ha salido de Nueva Asgard a pegarle. Pero eso ya lo hacía. Y los lobos también. Se te tiran al cuello en cuanto estás cerquita. ¿Qué hay de nuevo en eso? Es que es eso, meta. O sea,
So shoutouts to all my depressed gamers out there. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll announce the dates at the end.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, we got just updated clarification on dates. But yeah, we'll talk about it in just a sec.
There's a good question. Will you fix double jump Goomba builds? Yes, actually. We have
Voy a escribir aquí sarcásticamente. ¡Ay, que me quedo sin batería en el teclado, tío!
From requiring one person standing on a head to two people standing on a head. So you really have to coordinate to get the achievement now, but it will stop people from just, unless it's like a teleporter squash, which could still happen. It's going to be a lot harder to Goomba people.
Do you mind if I just like fuck around?
You can do absolutely anything you want. Do you want to change seats?
Fight. Nah, that's fine. We don't have to do anything crazy like that. I just want to show people how bad I am at this game. Just because also we're just standing here, I just want to move around a little bit. So while we're taking some questions, I'm just going to have some gameplay. Maybe I should just like build some blocks and jump over them. And just have that be the entire stream.
What about stamina when climbing?
Pretty much unchanged. Climbing, sprinting.
Hola Jaime, tío, ¿qué tal? No veo ningún cambio en el sistema de combate ni de los NPCs.
Yeah, it's 8 stamina right now, but I think if I had double jump, it increases.
Well, there was no charge for the second jump before.
Oh, that's right.
So now the second
El combo de
jump costs stamina
estocadas
as well.
con la espada de una mano. ¿Juegas con mando o juegas con teclado y ratón? Es que yo juego con mando. Lo puedo explicar con mando.
Max agility build because I found that with the changes, personal suggestion,
esta
obviously,
cosa.
not telling you how to play, but I really like rolling thrust. For reasons you can probably imagine.
Aquí debajo de la mesa, como ves.
Yeah, after your roll,
Aquí debajo.
your next attack doesn't cost stamina and has increased penetration, so it's super fun. I really like it. So that's kind of what we mean by like, you know, the value of certain talents or the way you want to align your talents is going to be different. And we're hoping to, just shake things up a bit.
Yo hago el ataque pesado. Y cuando hace ese ataque así pesado, le doy al ataque ligero, spameo ataque ligero todo el rato. Y entonces te hace ta, 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 ta. Esa estocada que dices tú, creo, ¿no?
Sorry. What was the question?
Will modders be able to mod the clan features?
Oh yeah, so will modders be able to mod clan features, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't have a 100% definite answer right now, but I think it should be the case. With any new features.
Porque es que además los dejas tontos, o sea, no se mueve, mientras estás dando está el tío.
And that was one that right off the bat, in the
¿Sabes?
initial
No se entera y no
I gave the team, I was like, I would
Y
like
nosotros
modders to be able to
le llamamos cariñosamente estocada
we'll have
gitana,
to follow up on that.
puñalada
I'm sure it
gitana.
happened.
Es
Will weapons be getting new
muy gitano.
New movesets, weapons?
I don't think there's any new moves.
O sea, ataque pesado, y según termina el ataque pesado, spameas el ataque ligero. Y ta, 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 ta,
combat
ta.
changes, and especially with AI, is also
Prueba,
intended to let us
prueba
kind of
así, así es como lo hago yo con el mando.
baseline for
Ataque
the combat
pesado
to be
y spameo ataque
designed
ligero.
with better interplay. So we might see some changes come to specific attack animations or potentially new
Oye, que
animations
no os lo he
for
dicho, que ahora
weapons.
estamos aquí en directo, ya que estos están hablando de algo que no veo yo que haya cambiado mucho. Gracias por los nuevos suscriptores, vuestros comentarios en los vídeos, que sois más guapos que todo, ¿eh? O sea, hacéis preguntas con sentido, dejáis comentarios bonitos, no hay ningún comentario de gente maliciosa, y eso es muy bonito y muy difícil de ver. Y muchas gracias, estamos haciendo una comunidad muy bonita, tío. Si no estás todavía suscrito, te animo a que le des ahí al botón de suscribir, le des a la campanita para no perderte el siguiente vídeo y dale a me gusta a este directo. ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no lo vas a hacer? ¿Te cuesta mucho? No te estoy pidiendo nada, prácticamente. Venga, a ver si nos dan más novedades.
Tomorrow, May 23rd. You can visit our forums to find out details on how to access it. It just involves installing a separate like public beta client from Steam. You can also type, I believe, !beta to get a link to the forum. That's only for you in Twitch. If you're watching a recording, you just go to forums.funcom.com, head over there, check things out. And then Age of War itself is set to launch June 22nd, 2023.
Someone said, "Fix the purge are broken" in chat. Where you been, dude?
Oh.
That's a huge part of what we just revealed.
Pase de batalla, una armadura,
So yeah, the first level
estandartes,
bandit armor, which is what we're wearing on our character right now. And a special clan
un
emblem.
emblema, un estandarte,
And so,
estigio,
we're adding
estilo
some clan emblems
estigio.
and other things to the battle pass as well.
¿Eso qué es?
And of course, new emotes.
Una espada de
new
práctica.
replaceables and building pieces. Yes.
That's actually a new feature as well. So
Una espada de
Emotes,
práctica,
that's
tío.
right.
Madre mía.
Yeah.
we
Pinturas
missed an entire feature,
decorativas.
but yeah, we're changing the emote system to work in a way that they can be contextualized. So if you have a sword in your hand, you can do a sword emote. So you know, if you have the right emote and the right weapon, weapon emotes.
So let's see if I can do. This is a nice two-handed sword. Let's see. Oops.
There are no plans for mods on consoles at this time.
It's
Ah,
not
qué
on the
bueno.
roadmap
Animación de cómo deja la espada al hombro.
Repeat the question, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Someone asked about mods on consoles. It's not on our roadmap right now, so it won't. It definitely won't happen during the Age of War.
Why can't I?
It's a thing that we all would love to do because we all recognize the value that mods brings
Do
Exiles.
I have weapon emotes involved? Actually, hold on, sorry.
But it's a big task.
No quieren hacer. Esto va saliendo, es un spoiler ahí de los nuevos emotes por ahí que hay alguno, me parece.
But we would like it to.
And then with this update, there's also
Son malos,
a lot
los,
of
son,
fixes.
no hacen nada, no hacen ni el
It's
puto
not just
huevo.
new features.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
No hacen ni el puto
Sorry,
huevo,
just a
la verdad.
second here. I'm getting messages.
¿Pero qué
from folks
hacemos?
being like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Nos tendremos que querer igual.
We're still evaluating the
Son
possibilities,
los que
but
nos
yeah,
proporcionan
because of
este
the
juego ahora
technical
mismo,
limitations
pero
of
son
RAM
unos
and stuff like
cabrones.
that,
O
it's
sea,
just
no
really tough.
hacen ni el huevo.
Memory is the
¿no?
biggest problem.
Yeah.
Exiles uses a lot of memory because it has a lot of high definition materials and textures.
Coco Loco, buenas tardes.
And mods cost
Sorbito de
memory.
hidromiel por ti.
Yeah. Oops.
Lots of questions on
was it
character
under?
transfers.
Yeah? I don't. No, there's not really a whole lot we can go into about that, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Wait, where are they listed? Do I have it learned? I think the command that I was given is not correct. Sorry. Anyway, we'll have new weapon emotes, so like the shield, for example.
Sí,
like the
ya
shield
están
bash
presentando,
animation,
no están diciendo la fecha,
your
pero ya han
two-handed
presentado que se va a
sword,
llamar
like
Age
a
of
guardian
Conan.
stance like
Age of
this,
Conan.
like a
No
sentinel.
hagas puto caso. Age of War. Ahí lo tienes en su
Apologies for
monitor.
that. We'll definitely be able to show them
Y
off.
nos está dejando un poco fríos la cosa.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that should be set to true. I just don't think I've
Hay
learned
algunas
it on the
cositas
command
nuevas que
that I
molan.
had for it. It's
Se van a
not
poder crear
working,
insignias de clanes
unfortunately.
personalizadas, 12 iconos con 10 fondos y colores
That's
el
okay.
que quieras.
So, yeah, we'll have like
Se aplican lo que es a las armas, como a los escudos, a la ropa de los caballos, a los estandartes que tengas en la base.
be available there.
Va a haber una mesa para ello.
And yeah, and so
¡Eh!
you'll notice that a lot of the things that we have are still like very let's see, Stygian themed.
Yeah.
Because some, you know,
Un mapa.
Conan and Hyborian Age lore masters may recall the Stygians are a
Para
powerful
poner
force within the
ahí
land and
bonito en la habitación
they
y
see
te la
an
raiden y
opportunity.
te lo quiten.
so we may see lots of them come by or
Yep, and that'll play into the second and third chapters of this age. And, you know, it's not really, I mean, at this point, if you're not connecting the dots, the Stygians are coming to the exiled lands, you know, in more force than they're currently there. They're going to set up a fortress in the exiled lands, and they're going to start to rake some cash into it.
and it's time they're going to build up, so it's time to build up to fight back.
Yep.
So yeah, sorry about not being able to show the whipping emotes currently, but yeah, so yeah, there's an example of a 2D image of what you can expect to look like. So we're excited to have this. And
Otra
later on,
animación.
We want to add more emotes, including
A
like,
ponerte con la
potentially,
espada
like,
ahí en
emotes,
plan
for
como si
example,
fueras
or, like, maybe even fatality animation.
That
Maybe,
might be part
maybe.
of chapter 3, yeah.
Maybe those are the things that.
¿Cómo
that
no?
sound like our
Otra
stretch
dichosa
goals for,
mesa.
Age
La
of
ponte
War.
en el tejado.
Fatalities are in the plan for chapter
Okay, cool.
3.
Awesome.
Vas a tener que ampliar la base al
Guys,
final.
It's not just going to be the
No te va a quedar más
incredible crash
cojones.
dummy explosion of
Vale, yo
limbs.
cuando me enteré de lo de los golems digo, ¿y ahora
Yeah,
esto dónde lo
there
meto?
will be a chance for you to really, you know, dismember
Por
them.
eso,
Yeah,
aprovecho
of
para
course,
deciros,
like,
mientras nos
having-
hablan
having
aquí
two
del
character
pase de
models,
batalla
like,
que veo que es una
choreographed
full,
and play an animation together is actually kind of a
he
more
terminado
complicated of a
el
technical
monasterio
achievement
del
than you might
Escorial
imagine, so there's more
a
work that goes
escala
into it than you might
en
think.
Conan. De hecho, estoy en mi habitación del monasterio.
We'll give that a
¿De acuerdo?
shot. Let's see here.
No os lo perdáis porque voy a subir un vídeo haciéndolo. Va a ser un vídeo de 10 minutos.
Well, so, okay.
Creo que han sido
for those of you messaging us over Slack,
36.000
when I have a weapon down, I hold
piezas.
the wheel thing down. I just don't get any option for anything. and I don't think
36.000
I
piezas de
actually
base
have the emotes learned.
en total.
So that's okay. It's okay. We'll show it off
Y han
another time.
sido 10 días de curro.
Yes, so sorry.
Pero
Yeah,
ha
so the
quedado
beta
un
is only
monasterio
available for
del
PC,
Escorial
but
que
of course the
vais
Age of War update
a
will be
flipar.
available on
Lo subiré en un vídeo
platforms that
timelapse
Conan Exiles is available on. So like
de
that
10
would be
minutos.
on PC, that would be on Xbox and
Entre
PlayStation.
hoy y mañana pasado.
And again,
¿Vale?
like, the update
Pues
itself will
dar
be
la
free. You don't have
campanita
to pay
y cuando
for,
esté
like,
subido
new
salga
features
así,
or anything
¡pum!
like that.
Y ya lo podéis ver o dejarlo para más tarde o cuando os apetezca, porque os voy a enseñar cómo hacer círculos en bases cuadradas. Tengo un suelo con cubos y quiero hacer un círculo encima, con total estabilidad, trucos, en modo vanilla, etcétera. Os voy a enseñar a hacer escaleras, mega escaleras gigantes. Os voy a enseñar a hacer muchas cosas en ese vídeo. Tenéis que verlo.
That should just feel a lot more nicer and natural as well whenever you're actually locked onto a target.
So yeah, what other quality of life stuff did we want to go over? Because I know some of the spells that we had, like some of the sorcery spells, are going to be updated to be like toggles, for example. So like find resources, and Wisp will, instead of being a duration-based buff effect, it'll just you just turn it on and then you cast it again to turn it off, so it just stays with you indefinitely until you recast it.
We also think we fixed the thrall decay timer. So whenever you log into a server, it won't just be a bunch of floating thralls in the world. They should actually disappear when they're supposed
guapo, me ha quedado
That's good quality.
interesante.
Yeah, and then updates to darkness and lighting.
Yeah, that one's super fun, and we can kind of actually show that one too. If you want to swap over to game mode real quick.
Oh yeah,
because it is the middle of the night.
Just a note when you swap. It kind of
yeah, there's a weird sound thing I noticed. Yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know.
So you know we don't have the blood moon eclipse anymore. Metcamosis and Karak are no longer warring in the exiled lands the way they were. So everything's kind of back to normal. But you might notice you can actually see a little more as well. Right now it's the dead of night. About 30 feet or so in front of my character, you can see it.
No sabe bloquear el cielo cuando está en modo creativo. Tiene que poner todo el rato mediodía. Pues Cocoloco en breve lo tiene subido. No te preocupes que en breve lo tienes subido. Ya lo tengo metido en el Adobe, pero tengo que eliminar para la paja, para dejaros ahí las cosas que interesan. Son muchas horas de grabación. Muchísimo.
Nighttime in Exiled Lands without the eclipse has been a pretty brutal affair in my experience. So yeah, having a little bit of like a minimum light radius around you so you can just see in front of you is really nice. And then of course, torches are still available.
Yeah, the torch is still better.
Yeah. Let's see. Of course, the new diving animation. We saw a little bit of that. Yeah. You can Scrooge McDuck if you really want to, and then, of course, it works better if you're high diving off of that, or I guess you can slow fall and just perpetually just.
El salto ese me mola mogollón.
Forever.
El salto hacia adelante para tirarte a las piscinas y tirarte a los ríos desde a tomar por saquísimo, me mola que te cagas. Es lo que más me mola.
Leaving and entering dungeons won't make. Will now make grass behave correctly. And then,
a ver si saltas de ahí. Ahí va. Mira. Pegando contra el agua aquí, pero es como. Es que sí. Oh, nice. Pegando contra el agua, no lo hagas ahí contra el suelo, pero no. De verdad que es. Claro, tío, vete a un sitio donde puedas. Pero no sabéis. Vete a. No se conoce su mapa, tío.
I think then we must bid adieu because we must get on to things.
Ay, esa mola.
New map stuff at all, or
no new maps right now. Yeah, people asking about new maps. We're not doing a new map right now. Age of Amazon was in fact a joke. I am not so negligent that I would leave an entire presentation up on both screens that shows what the next age would be, and I would certainly not write my presentation in papyrus.
Y me retas a que le pongas para abajo.
But yeah, I mean, stay tuned. New dungeons.
Que le pongas paja abajo.
That we can and may do in the future. So, if Age of War doesn't tickle your fancy, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Se parece al salto de la fe de Assassins. Decía, no sé si era meta o hacerlo con dos hachas de mano, el salto a lo Kratos. Pero sí es el salto de Assassins cuando vas allá a la paja.
So yeah, there'll be some small changes on the Exiled Lands when Age of War launches as well. Obviously, apart from the eclipse not being there, and then we'll be making some.
El próximo 22 de junio, ¿vale? Tenemos fecha, 22 de junio, Age of War. 22 de junio, Age of War. Y como no, los estrenaremos aquí en directo, ¿no? Hacemos en directo, nos pillamos el pase en directo. ¿Y hacemos todo en
as
directo?
the
¿Queréis?
armor that,
¿Queréis un
was
directo
shown
ese
in
día
some of the old
de...?
Age of Conan key art.
Estrenamos el día
We're
22
happy
con
to finally
vosotros
have it, realized, in the glory of Unreal.
y vemos todo.
Here.
Someone asked if the Karak
¿Lo
dungeon
hacemos?
would go away.
22.
Yeah, that'll still be there.
Yep.
It's the same as before. You
La
enter the
armadura es
same way and
horribilus,
everything, there just
pero
might be a little bit of a
y la
mess.
capa me mola.
Like Catan caravans.
Those were temporary
Pero bueno, la
content.
capa con
All
otros
the
colores,
Catan
porque me cago en la
Exiles,
puta. Yo tengo
save
una
for a
alfombra
few that
así.
you might find straggling in the Exile
Tengo una
dungeons will
alfombra
be
igual
gone.
que esa capa.
Yeah, they're kind of in like with well, yeah, they'll be kind of scattered.
Creo que
around
se la
here and
puse
there. I
al
won't say
perro.
anything.
Yeah. Any PvP news? Kind of. One of the things we will be doing probably in Chapter 2, I think, is revamping
No
the
tienen ni idea de
trebuchets
hacer
as well.
armaduras, eh.
So the way that you siege people or attack other players might change
Right.
a bit.
Y que siga él. El día 22 de junio estaremos aquí.
Toying with some other more
Estrenamos
extreme stuff,
Age
but I'm not
of
sure if
War
it'll make
con
it into
vosotros.
production or not, so I'm not gonna
Vemos el
tease anyone
pase.
with it.
Yeah.
Vemos las
Is
novedades,
the beacon
probamos
for
las
Mechanisms
cositas
ever gonna be the
nuevas.
same?
Seguramente
No,
que
the
vayan
beacon is
saliendo
gone.
noticias
That
nuevas
was a result
de
of
Age
the
of
ritual
War
he was
a lo largo de
conducting, and
este
if you show up
mes
there, you might
que
see
queda
why it's
hasta
not
la
there.
salida
There might be some
de la
something
novedad.
might have happened, so yeah.
Os iré poniendo al día, ¿vale? O sea,
Yeah, there should be a battering
siempre.
ram in Chapter 2.
Si no es por un
like a
short, es
handheld
por
one.
un
We wanted to do
mensaje
a
de
full-on,
Discord
like,
o-
AI pushed cart version of it, but I think we just simply
Lo
don't
sabéis,
have
¿no?
time
Queda
to put
claro.
that together. So
Vale.
we'll do one that you can break down doors by hand. We'll probably also consider
Más pase de
something like
batalla
carry
con
animation,
colocables, una
that
tienda que,
same carry
bueno.
animation for the chests, like putting an explosive jar in enemies' hands, so if they're part of a purge wave, they come at you and you can shoot the barrel, the jar from far away and blow them all up.
Más cosas de la tienda. De verdad que lo de las armaduras es para hacérselo mirar, ¿eh?
Find out.
Yeah, I mean, you can check tomorrow.
Yeah,
Es
right.
para hacérselo
You will
mirar lo
see
de
for
las...
yourself when this goes
¿Verdad,
live
chicos?
tomorrow. I don't have
Lo de
an
las
exact time
armaduras.
of when it will be live, but please stay tuned on the forums or on social media.
Pero
On
es que ya no
Twitter and
solamente
Facebook,
son la estética
for
de la armadura, lo
the
que es el
DayZ
diseño.
or
Los
go
colores
follow us
son
here. I don't know if my finger will
muy
get cut off, but yeah, go
malos
follow us here
escogiendo
at
los
Conan
colores.
Exiles on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all the latest updates on when public beta will be live for Age of War.
I didn't get to wear
22 de
the
junio.
everybody yet.
Lo vamos a hacer aquí,
Now
Sebastián.
for an official server
Vamos a
live.
emitirlo en directo,
No,
vamos a
no,
estrenar Age of War, vamos a pillar el pase de batalla y lo vamos a hacer todos juntos aquí. Día 22 de junio.
Taking away
Y si hay
people's
alguna
progress in
novedad,
the game
os lo
is
iré
the
contando
number
por
one
shorts.
fastest way to make them stop playing the game. So we will do everything in our power to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. This is a Veneer Shaman armor set that will also be, I can't remember if that's a Battle Pass or Bazaar item, but that will be a vanity set available.
Ah,
with the
la de
update as
bailar
well.
en Picto. Amigo, eres muy pillín. Meta.
Mounts, there will
Eres
be
muy
a new
pillín.
mount coming, but I'm not going to say what it is.
Yo tengo ahí a
Some of you
la amiga.
probably
Ahí.
probably have correctly
People
guessed.
have mentioned it in chat
Ahora.
already.
Yeah, but we're not going to confirm what it is.
Ahora.
Imps. It's the imps.
It's my finally Gundams.
Oh,
So you can hear Frederick Malmberg just like teleporting behind me, and I was like, no, don't. Okay, and we could sit here and talk and show off all the stuff like pretty much all day, but we do have to get going shortly. So I know there's a ton of questions in chat. And I know tons of folks will have more questions as they come up, especially when the testing period goes live. But
Os tengo que pedir perdón, estaba eso puesto, no me he dado
stay
cuenta.
tuned for tomorrow when the Age of War Chapter 1 update becomes available for beta testing. And we'll keep you updated on like any changes or anything that comes up during that test, and look forward to a new age dawning over the exiled lands on June 22nd.
Yep,
June
public
20
beta.
seconds. 22 de junio,
So again,
chicos. Un mesecito tenemos por delante.
If you type
Los que no tengáis el pase de
beta,
batalla, ya sabéis.
exclamation point beta
Espabilar,
in chat,
que
I
quedan
think Nightbot should have a
30
thing
días.
that has a link to the public
A darle
test
caña al
forum,
pase de
so
batalla,
go
¿eh?
ahead and bookmark that in preparation for tomorrow. We'll put a little blast out on social
Por
media announcing
supuesto,
when it's
Meta.
live, and you guys can take a first
Mándamelo.
look and take the first steps into the next age of Conan Exiles. Woo! So, I think that actually about wraps it up. Any last housekeeping things? I'm going to look over here. Let's see. Also keep an eye out for... sorry. So we have a question from internally on Slack about some of the QL stuff. One of the changes that we're updating is like a drop equipment on death or different drop equipment on death options. To go into them specifically, there are now
Da
options
mucha
for
flojera.
nothing on death, setting 0, lose everything on death, which is 1 by
Pero
default,
mira,
or lose just backpack inventory on death.
Kael,
So you
los
don't just
pros,
get completely
los
wiped
pros
on death.
te pillan
You
el pase,
just drop, like,
You keep
se
what's
van
in
al
your
modo
hotbar and your
creativo,
armor, I think, and
Yeah.
your
y en
actual
una tarde
backpack
se lo han
gets
hecho.
dumped in.
Yeah, so that hopefully allows for like extra granularity for like server admins or private server admins to make it just like a good middle ground between all or nothing. So hopefully that helps kind of enable like still like some consequences for dying, for example, on your private servers, but like, yeah, again, not all or nothing. Thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, yeah, so other housekeeping things again. So,
Está con preguntas y
disconnect
respuestas,
issues
¿de
will
acuerdo?
be resolved, or, you know, we have a plan, a fixed plan.
No sé si van a alargar
in
esto
the
más.
update.
No creo que tengan mucho más que
Twitch
contarnos.
drops. So yeah, we
Resumimos un poquito
we
por
did have an
encima.
issue with the
Nueva edad,
Rock Nose figurine
enfocada,
Twitch
como
drop, which is
decíais
supposed to
por
be the
aquí,
third,
sobre todo
Twitch drop
al
campaign
PvP.
we're running. There was an issue
Por alguna
with
animación
the actual
nueva
like placeable item in game, so
que
we
nos
did
han querido
postpone
enseñar en
the,
ataque, que
the
no hemos
campaign
visto.
for that specific item. I don't have
Las
details
armas
off the cuff
legendarias van a dar más
on
golpe, los
if
enemigos
and
van a
or
dar
when
hacer
that
más
will be
daño,
run again,
pero serán más
but
fáciles
we
de
will
abatir.
have, you know, we'll have other campaigns.
¿Qué más?
In
Las
the future
insignias
as
de
well.
clan,
So, again, just like
personalizadas,
keep an eye out on
con 12 logotipos
our
y 10
social
fondos,
media.
y
And
colores
I
el
think
que
you might
quieras.
even be able to see on, like,
El salto
upcoming
ese de la animación
campaigns
para
on the
adelante, que es lo que
Twitch
me
website.
mola
I can't
mogollón.
remember exactly where you find that, but
A tirarse a las
we'll have
piscinas
that.
y a
Yeah, we're
los,
sorry
y a
for
los
anyone that,
ríos.
like,
¿Qué
was
más?
confused by the Rockness figurine or any
Pase
streamers
de batallas,
that,
lo mismo de
you
siempre.
know, we're hoping to be able
Tiendas, lo mismo de
to
siempre.
help, you know, use that to help grow their stream a little
Y
bit.
por
So
el
we do
momento
apologize for that.
es-
And speaking of streamers and content creators, of course, also we want to give a very special
¿Habéis-
thank you
¿me habéis
to
dejado algo?
Wack, Jordi,
¿Me he dejado algo de lo
Kion,
nuevo?
Faya, and Sima
Creo que no, ¿no?
for sharing some
Así que haya interesado.
exclusive teasers across streaming and showing it off on their
Colocables.
channels.
Nuevos colocables.
If you
La
haven't
nueva
already,
mesa
yes,
de las
these are-
emblemas,
these
que
are
bueno, ya hemos hablado de las
excellent
emblemas, pero
folks
tiene una
within
nueva
our
mesa
community. We're
para
really
poder
grateful
hacerlo.
to have them and have so many other folks,
Emblemas
just like really
personalizados.
excited to
Que bueno, para
sink
PvP
their
eso va a
teeth
venir
into the
muy, va a
game.
venir
So,
muy bien. Por
again,
eso
yeah,
está mucho
special thanks
enfocado
to
esta
those four
PvP.
and,
Tanto por el tema de los
all our other
emblemas
content
como lo de las
creators, and,
armas.
we'll be in touch
La
with everyone as
estamina.
well for future
La estamina
collab
se
projects and
va a
such,
consumir
too.
mucho
It's
antes
so
con los
fun to
ataques
watch
y con los
everyone
saltos.
speculate about
Con
what-
ataques
Oh
y
my
con
God.
saltos.
With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
teasers.
Well, when
No nos
Kaya's
dejamos nada
teaser
más.
came
Ahora
out
sí
and
que
the
no.
thumbnail turned into Age
Creo
of
que
the
es
Amazon.
todo
I was
lo
like,
nuevo que nos trae la gente de
I
Funcom.
posted the preview up on our forums. I was like, what is this thumbnail guy? I was like, oh no. And then also, for those who are looking on our forums as well, stay tuned also for winners for our Mystic Masterpieces art contest, which we ran and we finished up. We're still reviewing our entries and casting our final votes, and we'll have final announcements by the end of May. And then previously, when we were announcing the contest, we were like, you'll get the next chapter's content or battle pass. This is before we announced the Age of War, so now we can just say you're going to get the Age of War
Perfecto,
chapter
meta.
and battle pass.
Voy abriendo el Discord.
If you won. So there's that. I think that's about it. I think that's it. Hell yeah.
Once
we
you get
did
to patch notes, there's so much stuff in
Oh
the
my
patch
God, yeah.
notes. And a lot of it at first glance will probably seem scary too, but I think once you get your hands on it and you actually get in game and play it, it's all really
Yeah, like just like we explained. Yeah,
really.
yeah. Just like we had gone over on stream here, like yeah, we know like a lot of the stam changes and the durability changes like sound really scary on paper, but we're, you know, we're confident and hopeful that you'll find it A, not scary, and actually in fact B, ideally fun when you do actually get your hands on it. But again, please let us know. Any final thoughts, friend?
Oh, pero mola mucho esto, ¿eh?
Nope,
Look at us.
I'm just really excited.
Mola mucho, Meta.
We did it. This is
I know as soon as we leave this room, I'm going to think of like 5 things we didn't talk about that I wanted to.
Mola
yeah,
mucho.
as soon as that door opens and I come out, I'm just gonna like flop over and fall on my face on the floor because I'm just like, oh, finally.
Melrian.
I do a lot of streams, but I still get really nervous whenever we
Melrian, ¿lo pronuncio bien?
stream and talk about stuff, and especially on you know, just like really like big announcements.
Mola,
like
mola.
this, you know,
Mola.
talking about the next like story arc and progression arc for Conan.
Bueno, lo he enseñado.
nerve-wracking.
Se podía enseñar, ¿no?
It's like zero stress.
Te las has mandado para que la viéramos todos, no para que la viera solo yo. O sea, no,
Yeah,
eso no era así.
a lot of I don't know. I just get really in my head. I don't know how some of y'all that do it every day do it. A lot of respect to you. I guess that's it, right? Like you do it every day and you just get used to it. And I'm just really anxious and hard on myself. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us on this very special episode.
Muchas gracias también a vosotros
Public
por
beta
venir.
for Age of War begins tomorrow. Full launch for Age of War begins June 22nd. Head to our forums. Let us know what you think. Tell us what your favorite kind of pizza toppings are.
Yep.
My name's Andy. This is Dennis. Say hi to Nicole.
Pues tal,
Come on
chicos.
over here. Just come on over here.
Okay.
This is the lovely.
Perfectamente, digo, a ver si he metido la pata yo ahora.
The lovely Nicole, my partner in crime here in the NC
Ajá.
community team.
La compañera ahí.
Has been back here helping talk to chat and relay messages from our Slack channels and chat.
Qué maja.
Thank you, Nicole. Lots of love, thank you. And lots of love to you for tuning in, watching us, supporting us, playing Conan Exiles. Till next time, friends.
Hasta
Adios
luego.
and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Chao, señor. Pues chicos, this is lo que hay. ¿Qué os ha parecido? ¿Qué me contáis? ¿Cómo habéis visto? Más o menos bastante frío, ¿verdad, chicos? Madre mía. Lo que decíamos, ni frío ni calor. Hay cositas que tal. Sí, por lo menos que no baile sexy. Pues chicos, hasta aquí también llegamos nosotros, ¿vale? Yo voy a seguir editando el vídeo del monasterio del Escorial, que lo tendréis subido entre hoy y mañana. A ver si lo puedo tener hoy, si todo sale bien. Aún son las 6:30, yo creo que con un poco de esfuerzo lo podemos tener subido. Al pase le quedan pues hasta el día 22. Te quedan 30 días, Diego. No va a esperar nunca nada de Funko. Eso es bueno. Pero en realidad nunca esperes nada de nadie. Te irá bien en la vida. Señores, en breve eso. Y ya os adelanto que el día 22 de junio haremos directo con el pase de batalla, ¿de acuerdo? Y probaremos y veremos todo lo nuevo que haya, ¿vale? Y muchas gracias por estar aquí. Muchas gracias por querer pasar conmigo estos momentitos viendo lo nuevo que nos traía Funko, aunque no ha sido una cosa muy grande. Hemos pasado un ratito divertido, nos hemos reído y hemos charlado. Y os quiero mucho. Que gracias por vuestras suscripciones, vuestros comentarios bonitos. Si tenéis preguntas, ya sabéis, sin problema las preguntéis en los vídeos que veáis correspondientes. Poned la campanita y darle me gusta a este directo, casi todo cuenta. Os quiero mucho, ¿eh? Chao, chao.